question for you, and we'll go to Alton for this one, and then move on to Carrie. Thinking big, without budget or infrastructure limitations, what is the one way you would like to contribute to Corner Brook? And how can you make this idea more realistic?
No restrictions on cash. Whoa, excellent. Okay, I would say that let's get our environment in order. We've got two major issues with the environment at the moment. Well, a couple, but two that I see are the water treatment. And once we get the water treatment in place, that is then the basis for the sewage treatment. Because if you understand how it works, I'm not trying to say you don't, but once you determine how much water you're taking in every day, then you know how big a treatment system you will make then for your sewage treatment. I think that's my issue, is the water and the treatment of sewage, because it's, I guess we all agree, it's appalling what we're doing with our water coming from our sewage, where it's going untreated into the harbor, which is part of the world. So that's unlimited funds. Go for it.
Okay. Thank you, Alton. Gary.
Just, can you, I was thinking big there for a second. Can you repeat the question?
Sure. Thinking big without budget or infrastructure limitations, what is the one way you would like to contribute to Corner Brook, and how can you make this idea more realistic?
I'd like to use a couple $100,000 and try something really creative and new. I'd like to try to do something viral with the internet to bring Corner Brook on a global stage. I don't know how many of you know about the best job in the world, what Australia did a little while ago. They decided to take somebody, give them a job in Australia, pay them $600,000 US for 6 months. All they had to do was to blog, write, photograph, shoot video of Australia. It cost them, they didn't do any form of traditional advertising. They didn't, in magazines. People had to submit videos and then vote. Well, the thing went viral, and it literally exploded around the world. I wonder if we did something like that here in Newfoundland. You hear about the coldest Canadian contest right now being sponsored by, I think, Air New Zealand. The same sort of concept. This is people, new companies, new ideas, new voices. I think it'd be really cool to try something like that in Corner Brook.
Thank you, Gary. Tara?
Oh my, if we had no limitations, this would be a utopia, I must say. We would be living in pure glee. I would probably go with, I would have to go with, I think, environmental or tourism. I'll go with environmental. I think we would have a curbside recycling program that is out of this world, and I'd probably have it kind of after the Halifax regional municipalities, because theirs is pretty darn good. We'd also have a sewage treatment facility. We'd probably be all run by solar power, windmills, the whole kit and caboodle. This would be like a environmental epicenter, and it would be, we could be the community that everybody kind of, they're rallying behind, they're rallying behind our community, and they're basing all of their infrastructure and everything on Corner Brook. So that would be kind of funky. I think that would be funky.
Thank you, Sarah. Trent?
It's getting environmental.
Well, there's one thing, right? Not. But, if we're gonna expand it, I can give you my list too. But I would tear up every road in Corner Brook and put down new asphalt. That's what I would do if I had the money.
What kind of asphalt?
I would put down.
I'm not allowed to ask questions.
I would put down the best grade asphalt that money could buy. I'd strip every road down, asphalt, sidewalks, and this place would be everyone want to go for a walk.
Or a drive.
Or a drive.
Thank you, Trent. June?
I'd love to see this city become a major Atlantic center for post-secondary education. And I'd like to have all the infrastructure there that would support it. The busing, the housing for students, the bicycle paths, and the walkways, so that we are known as an education city. We've all been to those communities, and so that we would have a reputation where the young people would want to come to this city to get their post-secondary education and know that they get excellent quality education, excellent opportunities, but what a fabulous community it would be to live in while they're doing post-secondary education.
Okay, thank you, June. Any follow-up comments, questions, concerns?
Yes, I have one. I think we should develop the waterfronts as well. We'd throw that in there, make it really pretty and nice, and have Lulu's, Lulu's ice cream, and all kinds of fun stuff.
Anyone else?
Could I just expand on that?
Sure.
I love the idea of expanding the waterfront. I live in Halifax, it's a beautiful waterfront. I'm not quite sure that we have enough population here to fully support that. But for those of you that have been to San Antonio, and you see the Riverwalk down in San Antonio, it is, if you look at the corner Brook Stream, cafes and shops and little boutiques and artistic areas on both sides of the Riverwalk in San Antonio, it is absolutely spectacular.
Can I, yeah, but Gary, if we're going to get all the high-tech people here in the high-tech jobs, we're going to have a population. Like I said, it's going to be a utopia. We're going to have it all. There's no money spared on Corner Brook. It is going to be, people be coming back, expatriates, they're going to be like, we're going back to Corner Brook
And coming for the moo-moos. Anyone else?
Yeah. Make sure we keep the green
No,
space.
it's, like, I think in, like you say about the port, I think, that may become a reality. As far as I know, Corner Brook Port Corporation is actually thinking about putting $70 million into expanding that port down there. So I hope that comes into fruition. I think that'd be a great thing.
Okay, thank you.